Góðan daginn! Another week, another me. Hey! So this would be my project pile number 43. My name is Gunnhildur, I'm an Icelander, live in Iceland, and this is my podcast, the project pile, because I have projects and they are in piles, as is my stash. In this podcast I talk about yarn, I talk about knitting, crocheting, what I'm working on, what I've finished, because I finished an object this week. And what my plans are, upcoming plans, and what my ideas are and such things. I also talk quite a bit about the weather because it affects everything that I do. Currently we are having rain. It's cooling down a little bit, so we got like rain, foggy kind of weather. So I'm looking out the window, it's just grey. But I can see that the mountainsides opposite the other side of the fjord, the mountains, they're about like third to a halfway white with snow, because as soon as the rain sets down, it's going to cool down a bit and snow a bit more. So, yay! But yes, which is why the lighting is. Well, I'm gonna say the lighting isn't like quite as good as I would like it, but I've noticed that this camera does tend to make things like a little bit brighter, which is very helpful when you're talking about yarn and you're trying to show people what you're talking about. So hey. So yeah. Do I start with the thing that I'm working on, or the ideas that I have, or the thing that I finished? I'm gonna start the thing that I finished, because I finished the Dummy Clap Shawl. Just took me since what, September. This is it. You notice that it has gained quite a bit in width from what it was. Like, listen, if you've never done something like this, I would definitely recommend it. As usual, I'm gonna link it in the description box down below, because you can find the pattern on Ravelry. It's free. I heavily recommend it. The yarn that I used was Ice Yarns Cakes chain in a navy and orange kind of colorway. This yarn is absolutely fantastic. I definitely recommend it. It's so soft and so nice to use. Honestly though, I think I should have used both cakes. Now, okay, so if you never shop from Ice Yarns, you don't buy like single skeins, single balls, single cakes or anything like that. You buy a whole package, which, you know, for some people it's not ideal for them personally. They rather like to just buy the exact amounts that they want to use or want to try out, which is fine, but that's just not how Ice Yarns works. It, however, suits me just fine, because I generally have the problem of not buying enough yarn, or, you know, panicking about not having enough yarn, and then just, yeah, this is a system that works well, very well for me. So when you buy the cakes, I think this one has 2 cakes. Yes, and honestly, I'm kind of wishing that I used both cakes in making this shawl, because then I'd have it a little bit longer. But so cool. And yet again, my cast off was a little bit tight, because first of my cast off they do tend to be really tight for some reason, because I just panic when it comes to ending things. Also because when you're doing the Dummy Clap Shawl, you are casting off, like the project itself, you are also dropping stitches to make this larger pattern. And I was so stressed about it. It was like I expected. Maybe that's also one of the reasons why it took me quite a while to finish this project, is because the the idea of dropping stitches intentionally was stressing me out. It was stressful, because usually when you drop stitches you do it by accident, and then you have to figure out like how to get the stitch back on. And what works for me is always having like a crochet hook by hand to just kind of like try and crochet this little bugger back up. So, and this time you're dropping stitches intentionally. It's like, but it was fun. The catharsis of it, of intentionally dropping the stitches and making this interesting and honestly quite pretty pattern. But still, I managed to lose a stitch in the cast off. Like, I counted again and again and again. You cast on, in this version, like the basic version, you cast on like 80 stitches. And I counted again and again, I had 80 stitches. When I was casting off, however, I somehow managed to lose a stitch somewhere in a cast off. Like, you have a pattern of 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So, and I counted again and again in like in the like the rows that are formed here in between, and these here is 3, 3, 3. So I don't know where that one stitch went, but it's fine because no one is going to count your stitches, especially not when you have something like this. Who is going to sit down and be like 1, 2, 3, 4? No one. No one. And I myself are probably gonna forget in like a month. Like, probably. But also the one thing is you know how in like skeins and just in yarn in general there is a regulation that there can't be more than 3 knots in the yarn per skein or cake or whatever. And unfortunately this cake had 3. And the last one, my hair, there's a single hair that's bugging me, but the last one was at the very end of the thread, so that was also kind of making me panicky. But overall, I am so happy. I would definitely recommend making this shawl because it's so pretty. So pretty. Also, it gains so much in the width when you are casting, you know, dropping the stitches. And just this kind of like wavy pattern that forms. I love it. It is so pretty. So, yes, definitely recommend it. So of course that as soon as I got my courage up to drop the stitches, I picked up another project that's been a long time in the making, at least a few months, to continue. It's a simple crochet netted shawl that I've had the recipe pattern for over 15 years, and I have no idea where it comes from, but it's super simple, it's so nice. And when I figure out how to make tutorials, I will make it because I want you all to like be able to do it because it's so much fun. So easy to pick up again. Usually I make it in a yarn that's much more similar to like this in like weights, like 5 to 6 millimeter, and I use a 5 millimeter crochet hook. But this time I am using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, which is extremely different. And well, it's currently a ball now because if you watch previous videos, you will know the history of that formerly skein with cake. This was one of the worst cakes that I have ever had the misfortune of having, but I did manage to salvage it. Here is its sister, which is still not the best cake because I still had to search for the ends on this one, but at least this one I managed to find the ends pretty much in the center. This one, the ends were somewhere around here. Ends, both of them. Both the one that is supposed to be at the outside end and the one that's supposed to be in the middle, both of them were somewhere, both together round somewhere here. So not fun. But the yarn itself is wonderful. It's so soft, I love it. It's James C. Press Northern Lights, 1 ball, 1 shawl, double knitting. Shiny label. It is, 45 meters or 492 yards, 95% premium acrylic, 5% viscose. Here is the label. So pretty. And here is this shade and dye lot. Apart from the misfortune of the cake, previous cake, and also what really annoyed me is because boiling it up usually isn't very nice, and also it was a hot mess. So all these like little fluffy bits, these absolutely gorgeous fluffy bits, they all, most of them came off, so not happy. But did manage to salvage most of it, so I didn't lose it. And I don't know, maybe I'll make a single, 1 ball, 1 skein type of thing. Or maybe I'll use both of them and have like a massive shawl. That would be nice too. Also, on a side note, I got this dress the other day. I bought it from ASOS on their end of the year sale. This big, like oversized, supposed to be oversized, and it is oversized on me, which is, hey, it's fun. Because sometimes you just need clothes that just swallow you up and are just like, your little friend. And still haven't worn it because it's a little thin, and currently we are in winter time, so hey, maybe not the most smartest, maybe not the smartest idea, but it is this absolutely wonderful mustard type of color, and these flowers, they are, it's a bit dark in here, but they are a pale pink. I feel like they're coming across as more like purplish or lilac-y on the monitor, but anyway, they are pink. So I was wondering if maybe, when I'm wearing it, maybe it'd be nice, ooh, this shawl might be nice to pair up with. Because obviously when you're wearing something, you tone together, you don't go completely, or rather, I don't feel like going completely matzy is a strong thing. I would rather personally, I prefer toning together. So I would like things to go with the dress, not matzy. Okay, sure. Says a person who has absolutely no fashion sense. But I was wondering, like, this is such, it's like this, it's big, and it's got like this shirt like top, and I like it, and I want something in like pink to go with it. So it's either probably gonna be that shawl, because I can see myself using that quite a bit. But I also have the Heart Yarn Mega Ball from Hobby. The nipple. And if you would like, here's all the relevant information. Because it's such a lovely pale pink color. And I still don't know what I want to make of it. I have two of these balls. Balls. I have 2 balls. Come on. Okay, anyway. Growing up. These are acrylic. How many meters are? Hur stor är det? I feel dumb. I can't see the... oh, it's on the front. Okay, so each ball is 1200 meters or 1312 yards. It's quite a bit. So I'm wondering if I make, because I have 2 of them, so I might be able to maybe make a long vest. I don't know. I want to make something like big and juicy out of it, so it can just because I really like long cardigans, but I don't know, something. Maybe hopefully something that would go with this dress, because this dress is so cute. And pink. I need pink. I need more pink in my life. So I'm just so happy that I managed to finish a shawl. Because it isn't a lot of work. It's just very, very simple, and I really recommend it, because honestly, all you need to know words. All you need to know to make this shawl is how to cast on, cast off. You need to know how to knit and how to purl. And you need to be able to just take the stitches off and let them fall, because that also was kind of fun. As soon as I stopped panicking, because obviously my first thought was, I'm doing something wrong, I'm doing something wrong. It worked out. But this, okay, after you drop the stitches and you're just opening them up, like all the way down, it's like, it's actually kind of fun. It was actually kind of calming to just sit and watch a video and just do all of that. And honestly, like, my cake didn't last enough for I think the actual I've been talking about it being like 47 inches. It's actually like 50 inches that the pattern calls for, or that's about 127 centimeters. I thought it was 120. It's not, it's 127, but that's okay because my skein cake, where's my yarn cake, didn't last that long. But like, this would be really fun in like longer. Like, it's definitely good enough as it is. It is good enough. But you know, obviously when you do something like more ideas form and you're like, maybe if I had like if you had like double in length and you could use it like a fancy kind of blanket or like an overlay like on your bed, that would be cute. It would be different. That would be fun. Different is fun. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see, because I also have the same Northern Lights from James Zebra in a different shade and dye. All this other same information, and I really like. See, this is completely different from what I'm usually used to. I'm like these colors together. I'm like, oh, first, but then I decided, you know what, we're gonna buy it because it is different. It is different from what you would pick yourself. I did get this from, I can't remember, but was there more or Wool Warehouse? Speaking of Wool Warehouse, now I did not order any more yarn. Remember last time when I was talking about the lovely lady whose name I still can't remember, and I was talking about how she had these like humongous knit needles and she was making like lovely blankets. So I did not order any yarn because I'm not buying. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna buy any more yarn because I know I'm gonna need like 2 skeins for one of the scarves that I'm planning to make this year, and you know, situation may always change, so I might not be able to. But the plan is to work on my stash because I have a lot of lovely yarn and they deserve to be used. So working on that. But that lovely lady with the big chunky knitting needles. So I decided to check out Wool Warehouse because it's been so long since I shopped from them, and obviously I didn't, again, third time, I did not order yarn. I wanted to because they had such lovely yarns, but I'm like, no, we don't need it. Also, we don't have plans for it, so you save it for later. So Wool Warehouse is a wonderful little UK company, which I haven't ordered from them since the first time in 2019. So I decided to check what they had, and they had quite a few of the Knit Pro knitting needles, and they had jumbo knitting needles. I was like, I wasn't gonna order straight away. Like, but honestly, when it's been days and you're still thinking about it, and I'm still thinking about it. So on Tuesday night, I actually went ahead and I ordered knitting needles. Also point protectors. I got one pattern from them, which is a downloadable one, so it's already in my stash on my computer. Pillows. I also ordered like pillow fillings so that I can just attack it as soon as they get here, because it's gonna be so much fun. But the knitting needles I'm gonna show you when they arrive. Also, I'm really happy with Warehouse because obviously I'm saying that a lot now. I read their when I finished the I was gonna place the order. I obviously read their there's a like a band on the top of the page, and they say something along the lines of, listen, we are not Amazon, we are a small family owned operation, and because of the COVID restrictions in the UK, which are pretty severe, like at the time, like last week, they are still pretty severe because they are having serious issues. But because of these restrictions and because of a lot of, you know, people are getting sick, so they have staff shortages, another difficult English word, thank you, English language, they have fewer people working. And, you know, they said that it might take up to 45 days just to get the order together. I'm like, absolutely fine. I am not in any hurry to get these knitting needles. I would like to get them, but I can wait because I am 36 years old. I have patience. I can wait. So I placed the order, and I'm just so happy to have them, because that means that in like 2 weeks I'm gonna get them. Wednesday morning, I get shipping notification from them. Tuesday night, I place the order. Wednesday morning, it's shipped. Like, that's so sweet. That's really free. That is so quick. No, considering what the situation is, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling spoiled right now. So, yay! Which hopefully means that next week I will have the knitting needles and I can show you, like, probably a week after that, because, yay! And it's gonna be so much fun, because I've been telling also my friends about the knitting needles, and they've been like, I'm sorry, 35mm, because that's the biggest size. So, so the lovely lady, who I will link down below because she is lovely, I like her. Her biggest knitting needles were 25mm or US size, what was it, 9 or something? I cannot remember what the size was. 25mm, like my thumb, okay, my thumb is the equivalent of 10mm. 20mm is probably something like this. So I was telling my friends about this, and and she just, I mean, she has complete understanding of why I would want to order the knitting needles, because it's like, hello. But she quipped back at me, and I'm like, yes, because she asked me, whoa, 35mm, isn't that the size of your wrist? Yeah, we'll see. We will make the comparison of my wrist and the new knitting needles when they arrive, because I'm like, if this is equivalent to 10mm knitting needle, maybe? We'll see. That will be fun to find out. So, yes, so we at least have the plans for a future video. We're gonna look at the Knit Pro knitting needles from Wool Warehouse, who have amazingly quick service. I finished the Dummy Clap Shawl. Heavily recommended. I definitely recommend that you try this out. A lot of fun. Catharsis. I am making a little bit of headway on the little pink Meta shawl. I'm trying to remember the name of it. And tentative plans for something to go with this lovely mustard colored dress. Like, these are the sleeves. These are so comfy. Yes, this lovely dress with a little pink flower details, and I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I finished something. So that's one project done of 2021. That rhymed. Woo, go me. So, yes, this is me this week. I'm very happy. I did manage to finish something, and I'm continuing to work on another thing, so it's like, yay! I'm happy. So, yes, thank you for watching this week. And I will see you next week. Hopefully with a needle so I can show you. It's gonna be so cool. So, yes, thank you. I'll see you next week. Bless, bless.